there's this tension that I think everyone feels at some point. You look around and you see people who are, well, not great people, maybe a corrupt boss or just a dishonest coworker, and they're thriving.
Right. They have it all. The money, the success, no consequences.
And then you see good, honest people just struggling to get by. It makes you ask that really uncomfortable question, if there's a God, why is everything so unfair?
It's the classic problem of evil. And what's so interesting about the sources we're looking at today, this reflection on the harvest of the heart in Matthew 13, is that they don't just brush that frustration aside.
They lean into it.
They absolutely validate it.
So today, that's our deep dive. We're getting into two specific parables from that text. The sower and the weeds. And the mission is to see how these ancient stories tackle that feeling of unfairness.
And maybe more importantly, how they kind of turn the camera back on us.
Yeah, shifting from why is the world so broken to
what's actually growing in my own heart.
Okay, let's start with the big picture then. The parable of the weeds. The setup is almost like industrial sabotage.
It really is. You have a farmer who plants good seed, good wheat, and then an enemy comes in the middle of the night and just sows weeds all through the field.
And these aren't just any weeds.
No, the text is specific. It's something called tares or darnel. And in the early stages, it looks almost identical to wheat.
So you can't even tell the difference?
You can't. Not until much later when the grain starts to form.
So the farmer's servants, they eventually see what's happened, and their reaction feels completely normal. They ask, should we go pull them up?
The logical response, right? Get rid of the bad stuff immediately.
But the master says no. And this, I think, is the whole point.
This is the core insight. It's not that he's okay with the weeds. It's about the root systems.
The roots?
Yeah. In that kind of agriculture, the roots of the darnel would literally wrap around the roots of the wheat. They'd become tangled.
So if you yank out the weed,
you're going to rip out the good crop right along with it.
So what feels like divine inaction or silence is actually protection.
Exactly. It's a delay for the sake of the wheat. The source frames it as judgment being delayed, but, and this is key, it's never canceled. The harvest is still coming.
Okay, so that parable tells us to be patient about justice. The parable of the sower, then, seems to be about what we do while we wait.
That's the pivot. The focus moves from the field out there to the soil in here. In your own heart, it lays out these 4 soil types.
I mean, they feel like 4 types of people, really. The first is the path. Hard ground.
Right. The seed just lands and sits there. The soil is so compacted, so cynical that the message can't even get in before it's just snatched away.
And there's the rocky ground.
Yeah.
This one always feels to me like the hype cycle.
That's a perfect way to put it. There's this huge, joyful, emotional reaction at first, but there's no depth, no root.
So as soon as any trouble or pushback comes,
they're gone. It's all enthusiasm, zero endurance.
The third one, though, the thorny ground. This one feels a little too real for today. The plant actually grows here.
It does. It's not an issue of rejection. It's an issue of suffocation.
What suffocates it?
The text is so specific. The cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches.
So distraction, worry, ambition. It's not that you reject the truth. You're just too busy to let it actually grow.
You crowd it out with other things, which leaves just one more.
The good soil. The person who hears it, gets it, and then actually does something with it, produces a crop.
A real return, yeah.
So the challenge from the source isn't to get angry about the weeds you see in the world.
No, it suggests that if you're only fixated on the weeds, you're probably not tending your own soil. You might be letting those thorns of resentment or anxiety choke out your own growth.
If the master is waiting to protect the wheat, then this time right now, it's a gift. It's a grace period for us to mature.
That's it. So don't waste the delay just complaining that the weeds are still standing.
Use the delay to deepen your own roots.
Because the harvest is coming. The real question isn't, why are they still here? It's, when the time comes, will I be wheat that was worth protecting?
That's a heavy final thought. The idea that this patience we see in the world might actually be for your benefit, so you don't get uprooted by mistake.
So I guess it leaves you asking yourself, are you using this time to grow, or are you just watching the weeds?